Sabagadis was a Dejazmish or governor of Tigray, a province in northern Ethiopia. He was the son of Shumwaldu of Agame, and a member of the Irob people. Life. Sabagadis gained some notoriety in the first decade of the 19th century for rebelling a number of times against his overlord, Ras Wald Selassie. But just before the death of Wald Selassie, it seems that he made up with his master and became one of his loyal lieutenants. Following Wald Selassie's death in 1816, he defied the authority of Wald Selassie's son, and became the most powerful warlord in Tigray, making Ada Greater his capital. He ruled Tigray, Semyon, and a small strip of the coastal plains of Eritrea by 1818. His rule also extended to the Eritrean highlands. Dejazmish Sabagadis believed that firearms were vital to neutralize the power of the Yeja cavalry, so he devoted much time and effort to both collecting them, and seeking European help in buying them. This included seeking British help, or at least permission, to capture the port of Massawa. As a consequence, Sabagadis was one of the first Ethiopians to attempt building peaceful relationships with other countries in modern times. As a result of these things, by the 1820s he was seen both in Europe and in Ethiopia as the champion of Christianity. 3 of his letters have survived. One to the Patriarch of Alexandria. Peter complains of the behavior of Abuna Kyrillos, sarcastically asking, "Was it because you hated Ethiopia that you sent him? Did you not know his conduct before, and so you sent him?" Another one is addressed to King George IV of Great Britain, asking for 100 cavalrymen, a carpenter, and a church builder who will build the way you do in your country. Sabagadis maintained constant communication with the most important Christian lords in Ethiopia. Building upon his reputation, he formed a coalition with the warlords of Gojam, Lasta and Semyon against Ras Mary of Yeju, the Enderes or regent of the emperor. Mary defeated Dejazmish Goshu in Gojam, marched the bulk of his army to Lasta, then quickly turned to Semyon province and attacked Wube Haile Mariam. Sabagadis watched the battle on the border of Lasta, and subsequently did not come to the aid of Wube. Wube preferred to submit to Mary rather than have to face him alone. Mary decided to put an end to the Tigrayan threat. At the head of contingents from Wollo, Yeju, Begemder and Amhara, and now supported by the armies of Wube and Goshu, Mary advanced beyond the Tekeze River into Tigray. The armies of Dejazmish Sabagadis and Ras Mary met on 14 February 1831 and the Battle of Deborah Abbey began. Although the Tigrayans had by far the greater number of firearms, the matchlock men were poorly employed and the Yeja cavalry won the field after a bloody fight. Ras Sabagadis would surrender only to Ras Wube, his son-in-law. Wube dutifully handed him over to Mary's followers. On 15 February they beat Dejazmish Hagos Sabagadis to death, and executed Sabagadis in retaliation for Mary's death. His remains reportedly were later interred at the monastery of Gunda Gunda. Nearly a year after his death, although he was a Tigrayan, people all over the Amhara provinces lamented Sabagadis. Alas! Sabagadis, the friend of all, has fallen at Dagashahar, by the hand of Obashat, i.e., Wube. Alas! Sabagadis, the pillar of the poor, has fallen at Dagashahar, weltering in his blood. The people of this country, will they find it a good thing to eat ears of corn which have grown in the blood? Who will remember Saint Michael of November to give alms? Mariam, with 5,000 galas, had killed him, i.e., who remembered to give alms. For the half of a loaf for a cup of wine, the friend of the Christians has fallen at Dagashahar. Family. Sabagadis was survived by 2 sons. Arigawi, who continued to rule in Agame, and Wald Mikhael. A number of other children are claimed for him. Kasa, Balgada Aray, and several daughters including Dinquanash, who was married by her father to Ras Wube 3 years before the Battle of Deborah Abbey.